Bombardier's powerful lobby. I'm Brian Lilly with the Rebel.media. How do you convince the federal government to give you $1 billion of taxpayers' money? You spend a lot of time with them. That's one way to go about it. We've been telling you about Bombardier's attempt to get $1 billion from the federal government. They already have $1 billion from the Quebec government. Now they want $1 billion from the federal government. Even though they've already received more than $2.2 billion in direct government aid over the years, even though they already get favorable financing provided through the government-backed Export Development Canada, even though they say in their own quarterly filings that if they get the money, it might allow them to pay out dividends to shareholders. Yeah, that's part of what they want to do with the money. But how do you actually convince someone to give you $1 billion? Not $1 billion investment, but just to give you $1 billion bucks. Most of us can't even imagine that. You spend a lot of time in Ottawa lobbying members of parliament and senior bureaucrats, and that's exactly what Bombardier has done. Thankfully, in Canada, we have something called the lobbyist registrar. If you are communicating with government officials or members of parliament, you have to log it. It has to be recorded, and it has to be accessible to the public. I want you to take a look at what I found on Bombardier and their monthly communication reports. This is for Alain Bellemare, the president and chief executive officer of Bombardier. More than 100 communications since late October, just after the last federal election. Scroll through it with me here. We're talking about Paul Halucha, the Assistant Deputy Minister of Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada. Matthew Bouchard, Senior Advisor to the Prime Minister's Office. Serge Dupont, the Deputy Clerk of the Privy Council Office. That is the second most senior civil servant in the entire public bureaucracy. It goes on. You can scroll through. You can see that he's met with Transport Minister Marc Garneau, Navdeep Bains, the Minister of Innovation, Science and Economic Development. These are to be expected. A certain number of these meetings are to be expected. It's part of the to and fro between governments and the people that they regulate. But 100 different communications, that's someone going fishing for gold, and it looks like they found it. Now, if you're like me, you don't think Bombardier should be getting this money. You are sick and tired of corporate welfare, of crony capitalism. This is just one more reason that you need to sign on to the petition that we've started at stopbackingbombardier.ca and tell the government no. We're asking you to sign the petition, to share it with your friends and family on social media, and if you can, chip in to help us out with a poll. We're trying to conduct a scientifically valid poll that will, well, survey Canadians coast to coast on what they think about this type of crony capitalism. Do they like it? Do they back it? Do they think that this is an appropriate use of taxpayers' dollars when small businesses and regular hardworking Canadians are the ones footing the bill for it? So if you can sign the petition, stopbackingbombardier.ca, chip in for the poll, then share it on social media. We truly appreciate it. We don't get the $1 billion bucks, not like Bombardier, not like CBC. We rely on our viewers. We rely on providing you with content that you think is worth paying for. A far cry from what Bombardier is doing. So go now, stopbackingbombardier.ca. Tell the government no more crony capitalism. Hey, if you like what you just saw, make sure you never miss a Rebel video again. Click subscribe to our YouTube channel or hop by to the Rebel.media, become a member where you can access premium-only content. And do me a favor, share this video on Facebook.